I'm here. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to fix some things. All right, I fixed it. Okay, I am here. I am here. I'm in. Let me get a few things, and I am coming. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm here though. I'm hurrying. I'm hurrying. Leave it up to me to be late to my own group meeting. All right, I got it. I'm just getting this on. Gonna get on his jacket, and I. Because I'm freezing. You guys remember last week I was hot. This week I'm freezing. Okay. Because the weather is so bipolar right now. All right, let me get some water, and I'm done. Okay, got water and I got snacks. Awesome. So now I don't have a reason to leave you guys. Let me turn this off so there's no noise. Awesome. That should be better for you guys. All right, so let's turn on this camera. Turn on the camera. And let's see what we're looking like. Hopefully it's not a complete disaster. Turn it off. Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm not that bad. All right, we're good. We're good, guys. All right, welcome in. I hope I look all right for you guys. This is my gangster jacket, you know. Here, wait. It's like that windbreaker material. But anyway, this is my gangster jacket that I use, you know, to rep my hood out here. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm kidding, guys. You guys know. Mafia girl doesn't have to dress like a mafia for you guys to know that she's mafia. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Dr. M. Hi, Suka Belet. Hi, M. So we have Dr. M and then we have another M here. Okay, so hello, M and Dr. M. Hello, Samael. Hello, Keela. Hello, Shadow. Hello, Thomas. He says, Store AF from Weekend Project, installing a lift kit. You want to race? You want to race? But if you win, you know I'm taking the exit of shame. I'm taking the first exit so no one knows that it was me who lost. Hello, Depo Le Fleur. Hello, D-Day. Hello, Fion. He says, I've never eaten at Cheesecake Factory, but it looks like a fine place, is it not? Cheesecake Factory is amazing. In fact, it is amazing. Because not only is the food good, but then the dessert is wonderful. There's nothing wrong with Cheesecake Factory. And we're going to get into this because I want to rant. I'm in the mood. This is my month. You guys know October is the month of Amira. This is my month. So this month, I plan to be extra psychotic just for the purposes of it being my month. And you guys should join me in it. Hello, Mr. Renegade. Thank you. Well, it was given to me. That was given to me. Hi, Jacob. Hi, B666. Jason. Hi, Richard L. All right, so let's begin, guys, because I do not like doing all the formalities. I really don't. I want to get through the highs, hellos as quickly as possible so that we can get into the nitty gritty, the things that dill my pickle from the inside out, the things that we all are looking at, the things that we are all noticing that we cannot stop looking at. It's like looking at a train crash. Can't stop looking at it. And this is something that I can't stop looking at either. Why? Because it's fun to look at. And I eat my popcorn and I watch it happen. What am I talking about? I'm talking about modern day society in America. Talking about Western society as a whole. Hi, Fix. Be psychotic. Of course, you would want that. Okay? You would want that, of course. Let me cough. I don't want to cough in the microphone. Hold on. Okay, because I tried to be elated to you guys, so you guys don't have to hear coughs and so on and so forth. Here we go. There is a culture going on right now, and this is a culture of it's like a war between the sexes. If you guys don't know, it's all over Twitter. It's getting worse and worse. I'm not going to talk about that right now because that just stresses me out just thinking about it. But there is a war going on right now between men and women. Okay. And women are losing. They are losing, but not only are they losing, they're floundering. But they don't realize that they're losing. That's the crazy thing about it. Women are in this war against men and they are losing pathetically, but they can't tell. They still think that they're winning because that's the psychotic nature of women, where a woman can lose and still win at the same time in her mind, right? Women are losing this gender war, and it's getting worse. The reason I said in the title, Hide Your Sons, is because I'm going to show you 2 or 3 videos right now of first dates. These are men that actually are taking the chance and going out with these women, these buffaloes. Well, let's be nice. I'll just say they're going out with these women, taking a chance, trying to see if they can find love out there, right? Taking a chance, and what is the first thing that they get served with? Entitlement, disrespect, ungratefulness, demands, and an extremely heightened sense of self, even though they are not. Okay, let's be real. Keela said, I didn't know cows don't like cheese. Hello, Ethan. Mr. Renegade says it's because they're all delulu. See, a lot of people have been using this term delulu recently. I'm not up on the slang, on the new slang, or what have you. I'm not up on it, but hello, Awad. Salam alaikum. Hi, Barry. Women, not the women, but here we go. So this is what I want to show you guys. Hello, Beetle. This is what I want to show you guys. I'm going to pull it up right now, actually. Hello, Island Fist. Bison is a more PC term. You know, bison just sounds so masculine because if you have a cow, at least it's a feminine term. A bison? That's like someone trying to milk a bull, right? And Samael, leave it up to Samael to explain how that would work out. But I'd rather not think about how milking a bull would work out. I'd rather not. All right. Should we go to this video? I'm going to pull it up right now. Give me a few moments in time. You guys can talk crap about me in the chat while you're waiting. You can talk about how unprepared I am and how much of a crappy host I am and how I'm always late and all that. I deserve it. So you can bring the racism jokes and talk about, how Arabs are always late for everything. Arabs are late for their own birth. I get it. I get it. Okay. I was supposed to be born on September 11th, but I was born on October 1st. That's how late I was to my own birth because I'm Arab. So listen, if I'm late to my own birth, you guys should give me a little bit of credit for at least showing up on the same day. I know I'm late, but at least I showed up on the same day. I mean, okay. Actually, I pulled it up here. Yahara. Oh. Is this not the right account? Yeah, it is the right account. Why are my downloads not showing up? Okay. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to start with this video for you guys. This video is the one around the internet currently, and I hope that the internet will not mess up on us. Okay, I really do hope it won't, but if it does, please put it in the chat so I can try to do something about it. I'll try my best, but put it in the chat so at least I know that it's messing up. Okay, don't just let it happen. Are you guys ready? Here we are. Ethan says the only thing Arabs are going to be early for is the fall of Zion. What the or the fall of Israel, right? The fall of Israel. Arabs are there first people on their seats. Sitting there already with popcorn and drinks ready. Sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Hi, Larry. Hi, 3G Craftsman. He says, I think it's funny when men beat women at their own game. Well, let's watch this video, okay? Let's talk about this instead. Here we are. So I'm going to put it full screen. And shout out to Hood Zone for uploading this video without commentary. And let's begin. Sorry about that.
Yes. Would you want me to open the door for you? Okay. Are you're recording me? Yeah. Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. What's the problem with that? This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
Okay, wait. Let's okay. She made a good point here, right? She said, who takes someone that looks like Exhibit A here, Your Honor? Who takes someone who looks like Exhibit A here to a place like Cheesecake Factory, a chain restaurant, for the first date? Of course. I mean, look at her. She has the look of STK. She has the look of, okay, the best steakhouse you can think about, El Gaucho. What about the Palisades? We should go to those type of places. Obviously, this woman, look at her. The reason I'm saying this is because look how she's dressed, right? Let's just talk about how she's dressed to begin with. First of all, if you're dressed like that, I don't think that you would fit in very well in an upper class restaurant in the first place, just because of the way she's dressed. And now she's claiming that she's so beautiful and so gorgeous and she deserves to be taken to a 5-star restaurant. Let's see what else she has to say.
Gosh. You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about it. Yeah. Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Purple lipstick.
Oh, okay. So, yes, let's talk about it. So you expect a man to go all out on the first date. Is that right? I mean, you're supposed to.
Hold on. This man, he looks to be like either Latino, maybe Indian, possibly he's not even American. And he's taking this woman out. You can tell he's not. I mean, when I say he's not American, I don't mean that he's not born in the States. I'm saying that it's obvious that he is from my region of the world. He's not. He's definitely not some. You understand what I'm saying? This man, I don't. So he's all right. I'll just because I tell you why. Men of Eastern origins, they tend to have higher expectations of women when, especially going out on a first date, they are so keen on certain things. So she has already ruined this date, whether she knows it or not, just by doing this, by sitting in the car and refusing to get out of the car to go eat. All right. I'll continue.
When you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her, because I get courted. So you're courting her, right?
Oh boy.
You're supposed to take care of her. You're supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right? Yeah. And that's what you're supposed to do.
Cherish?
I went into this date as I expect, with the expectations for myself to keep you safe, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course, and just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done. I mean, you've been pretty nice, but I mean, and then Cheesecake Factory. I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date.
Wait. Did you hear what he said? He said, you have expectations that I have to treat you this way. I have to court you. I have to be sweet. But I have expectations too. Now, let's see her facial expressions when he starts to list his expectations. Because I don't think that she's going to be as accepting as he was about her expectations. Let's see what she says or what his expectations are and where she has gone wrong thus far. I'm invested. I need to know.
I expect her to be respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative, and at least
what did I do that wasn't cooperative?
Well, I mean, like even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything like that, or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay,
I don't know you.
I can respect that. I can respect that. Okay. When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. We're not
again.
Maybe
I don't
we're not
know
there
yet.
Okay.
I know you.
And then, but
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman. But I got myself all made up.
There's nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
That's made up,
right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well, look at my planner where we were gonna go originally.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right there.
Oh, okay. So he had better plans in the beginning. He had better plans, right? But he said, when I got there, you didn't invite me in. And she said, it's too early to invite you in. I don't know you. But you're about to be alone in a car with this man who's going to drive you somewhere, and you're at his mercy wherever he drives you. But you said that you don't know him well enough to invite him in for either tea or something like that. But you're going to get in a car with him and let him drive you wherever he wants to, which is significantly more dangerous in my opinion, because he's in the control. If he really wanted to kill you or do something to you, that would be the time. You're in the car, child lock on, and off you go. But okay, there's a cultural difference here, and I'll tell you why there's a cultural difference here. In our cultures, Easterners, Arabs, what have you, I guess he's South Asian, someone said, in our culture, if someone is going out on a date, typically we live with our families. So typically we live with our families, and the family knows that the girl is going to be taken out if they allow that, if a family allows that. Typically, when a man comes to pick up the woman, the family will invite him in for a cup of tea, to sit and say hello to the family while she finishes getting ready, or what have you. That's just cultural. Now, she saw that as, you can't come in my apartment. Why? You're going to ask to go to my bedroom? Oh, you can't see my bedroom? No, because I don't know you that well. He doesn't know you that well either. Now, he's going to invest, $300 in a dinner at this 5-star restaurant. He doesn't know you. He doesn't know if you're going to skip out on him the next day, which does happen. A lot of women use men for meals. The poverty, the ghetto. I could never. This is insane. But she expects, okay, I won't talk too much. I will let you guys finish.
Call him.
No.
What do you mean no?
See, I specifically told you both yesterday and this morning that I'd come to pick you up at 4 p.m., right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs for an hour. Right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late, and like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment, and that is not possible.
And that's why I'm saying.
Wait. He waited an hour for this heifer. One second. He waited an hour for this cow to get ready, and that's the way she looks after a complete hour of being late and getting ready? That was the best that you could do, madam? You spent an extra hour to get to look like that. If a woman is taking that long to get ready, I would expect her to come out in a ball gown. She came out with her breast, her nipple is hanging out of that shirt. She's wearing a shirt that you can tell is a cheap. That is most likely from Shein. What is another cheap store that Rainbow? I don't know. All these cheap stores, fast fashion. That's definitely what she's wearing. And then she thinks she's hot because the breasts are out. But honey, you're out of shape. If you're out of shape, you need to cover that. Be more modest. Men in his culture, I'll tell you another thing, men in his culture, if he's anything like my culture, which I believe he is, they aren't impressed by how naked you can be. They're not impressed of how much you can show. Because in our cultures, we believe in women being modest. We don't need to see your breasts. We don't need to see your arms, in fact. And especially if it's out of shape. And I'm sorry to say this, but what she's wearing, it looks like, you know how you guys ever been to a meat market? The meat market, they have like certain meats, I would say a pig, and they have the straps around the pig, and how that meat looks, how it's like bulging out from where it's tied down. That's what she looks like, unfortunately. She made this man wait an hour in the car for her. He had plans to go to a nicer restaurant, but he made her wait. So he's saying, no, I'm not going back. I'm not going to take you to the nicer restaurant now. Now we're going to Cheesecake Factory, which is still great food. He didn't even cancel the date. This man is amazing. And he's okay. But she seems like she's ungrateful. She's still not happy. Let's see what else happens.
I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in the relationship to, meet at your apartment, then maybe we're not ready in a relationship for such a nice fancy restaurant as Aria.
Wait.
I'm paying for the whole thing.
Wait. Look at her face. Wait, I need to go back because did you guys see that face? I have to. What? Look at this face. What is this face? He's laying down the rules. He's laying down his standards, his expectations, just like she did. He didn't make that face when she was listing all her expectations. Treat me like a queen, cherish me, protect me, provide for me. Oh, but he lists his, and here we go.
Okay. If we're not there in the relationship to, meet at your apartment, then maybe we're not ready in a relationship for such a nice fancy restaurant as Aria. Especially if I'm paying for the whole thing, which I'm still willing to do. I would have been. Okay. But if we're late, I told you twice.
It wasn't that late.
Can I say something to you guys? I don't believe that this woman is actually interested in this man. I really don't. I tell you, there's many reasons why I believe that she's not interested. Okay? A woman who cares about a man enough to be going out on dates, because she said, oh, she gets courted. She's not going out on a date. She's being courted. Okay? Because that's what she gets. She gets courted. A woman who's being courted is courteous, is considerate. Okay? First of all, she's not even considerate. She's not courteous. So that's the first strike. She made him wait outside for an hour. That's the second strike. Third strike, you're ungrateful. So he's taking you out. He's doing the best that he can with the circumstances that have been presented to him. And you're ungrateful, which basically means that you're not there to enjoy him or his time or to get to know him. You're there so that you can flex on the gram about the nice restaurant that you're going to. And if he cannot provide you that nice restaurant experience, then you are displeased. She does not like him. She is not interested in him. And I hope he cancels this date. I really do. I've never seen the end of the video, but I did see about halfway. I hope he cancels it because she doesn't deserve more of his time because she's clearly not really interested in the man. She's interested in what experience he can provide for her so that she can flex online about it. Her and the breasts and the tattoo. Does she have tattoos? Oh, no, that's the marking from the channel watermark. Still, nonetheless. And she doesn't look like she's 21, 22. She's not interested in him. She just wants dinner.
Literally left your place at the time the reservation was supposed to be. And I specifically said 4 because maybe we could get there early and even have some time to get to know each other on the way there and while we're in the parking lot. Waiting for a reservation.
We can still get to know each other. Isn't there another restaurant you can call that, equivalent to that?
I literally
you don't understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
Look at me.
There's nothing wrong with
I will die.
Is it not nice for me to? It's not nice for me to talk about looks, right? Because I know I'm not some 10 either. I'm not a supermodel of the world. I know, okay? I get that. But can we all be honest with ourselves, right? I can admit that I'm not a 10. I can admit that I'm no one's supermodel. Happy with that. Her, on the other hand, look at her. And then she's saying, look at me. I can't go in a Cheesecake Factory. I mean, look at me. Is what she's saying. As if, I think in her mind, she looks better than what she does. Okay? The purple lipstick with the bright green neon Shein dress, cheap fashion H&M, whatever that is, dress. It's not... Okay. Anyway, she says she can't be caught dead in Cheesecake Factory. But she looks like she's been to Cheesecake Factory a few times. I mean, at that weight, she's had to have been there before.
That's embarrassing.
Listen, as I said, I have very specific certain expectations for that. No. I can tell it's not gonna be there.
Yes.
And maybe we're not right for each other.
You're not.
So you're definitely. Respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir.
So you just want to call it a night?
Yes, sir.
I mean, isn't there some...
And he's driving, it looks like he's driving a Mercedes because he has a panorama roof. It could be, let me see. It's not a Range Rover, that's for sure. He could be driving, I don't know, but he's driving, actually, it could be a Range Rover because, yeah, he's driving something nice, okay? That doesn't mean that he's a great guy. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, take his dignity and leave. Drop her off and let her pay for her own STK. What's the other one? Guys, what is the other steakhouse that's super popular? I know it. I just can't think of it right now because I don't really go to steakhouses. I'm not that type of person. I prefer to cook. I prefer to cook at home. I prefer that. I'm not the type of person to go out. But if I do go out, I typically go to STK. I love STK. If I'm going to do like a, 4 or 5 star restaurant, that's my favorite. And there's another restaurant called the Palisades that I enjoy. But anyway, with her, I'm so happy he's dropping her off. She doesn't want him. They are clearly not a good fit. They don't even look good together. Let's be real. They don't even look good together. Okay. I don't know. This woman should be lucky that she's getting taken out, but no.
Some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
Yes, I can.
I'm sorry, y'all.
But out the parking space.
If I don't feel respected, I am not gonna go through with the rest of
Look at her breast. Look at this. Look at her breast hanging out. Guys, look at this. And I believe that's why she thinks she looks really good, because she's thinking my breasts are out, so I must look good. I want to tell you guys something really quickly, and then I'll finish the video, I promise. But wait, there's something that I've noticed about American women, and I've noticed that American women feel that the more that they show, the better they look. Do you know what I'm saying? I've noticed that here in this culture, in the Western world, women feel that the more that they show, the better that they look. That if a woman is covered, if she is wearing sleeves or 3/4 sleeves, or if her skirt is not hiked up enough, that they don't look good. They don't feel sexy. They don't feel beautiful. And this is why I think this woman has this inflated sense of self, because she thinks, I'm exposed, my breasts are out, of course I look good. That's not the case. And I hope women can change that around, but let's see.
I mean, you are serious. You're really leaving.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't want this place anyway, right?
I mean, I understand that I was late. I understand that. I understand that I could have been a bit more cooperative. You made some good points. That's why I'm willing to compromise. Are you sure you want to go home?
What? I don't have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already set them, and you've broken every one. So I'm sorry. We're dropping you off home.
Oh, wait. One more time.
But I've already...
Did you guys hear what he said? He said, I was trying to compromise, but I have rules and expectations, and you've broken every one of them. And you know what? She's probably never had a man say these things to her, to tell her that she's not good enough, that she is not what she thinks she is. The fact that she's even streaming this is disgusting, and this is a first date. It's an intimate time, right? But no.
Said them, and you've broken everyone.
Oh
So
my God.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. We're dropping you off home.
Ooh.
All right, whatever. Well, I mean, I guess I understand. You got to do what you got to do.
Ooh. Let it burn. Let it burn. Gotta let it burn.
I understand where you're coming from.
No, you don't. He comes from a different culture. You don't understand. Oh my gosh. And then my channel goes straight to Samael. Because I was watching Samael. I was watching your stream earlier. It's like I can't get rid of Samael. Either he jumps onto my stream or my stream automatically cuts to his streams. Can't get away from it. But what do you guys think about that? I have another video that I need to show you guys, because if you think that woman was bad, you think the entitlement was bad there, wait till you see the next video that I'm going to present to you guys. The next video. Now, this woman, as entitled as she was, okay, all she wanted was to have a nice dinner at a nice restaurant, right? As bad as she looked, as bad as she presented herself, as rude and disrespectful as she was by not getting out of the car, embarrassing him by streaming, okay, streaming on a first date and trying to embarrass him, trying to make him look like he's poor. She tried, you know why she did that? Because of peers and looking bad in front of the world. What she tried to do was shame him and tried to make him look like he's broke because he didn't take her to an expensive restaurant. And what is the best way to shame somebody? Is to get a whole crowd of people looking at it. That's why she went on and streamed. And that is where the disrespect, that is so disrespectful. But nonetheless, as bad as that was, the next person that I'm going to show you, this woman, she's on a first date. She's enjoying dinner. And she had one request before the end of the date. And I will show you what that was. Oh boy. I'm getting triggered just watching this. And this is why I understand why a lot of men today are refusing to be around these women. I understand now. Quiet. But I understand now why a lot of men are saying no to these women, are no longer even interested in going out to dinner with them. You see we have this hookup culture now where men are just straightforward with it. They don't even try to take the woman out, try to open the door, because women aren't worth that anymore. The woman's worth has diminished, has completely crumbled down to the ground, not because men, it's because of women themselves doing this, devaluing themselves. And men have only followed suit from what the women are doing. Women devalue themselves as women. Men are now following suit. Now there's a hookup culture where a man doesn't even take a woman out for dinner anymore. He'll just straight out tell her, Netflix and chill. Hookup culture. I'm coming to your house. I'll bring alcohol to get you drunk. And then we're going to do the doings. We're going to make a goat cheese. And then I am going home. Or I'm sending you home in Uber. And women are agreeing to this because that's the best that they can get today. Because men are no longer going to take chances like this, taking a woman out to dinner and being embarrassed, being disrespected, being dealing with inconsiderate women who take no consideration of their time, their effort, their feelings, nothing. They give no cares. So now men are doing the same. They're following suit and saying, I give no cares either. This is why hookup culture exists right now. All right, I am showing you guys the next exhibit, Exhibit B. And Exhibit B is even worse. Here we go. I'm going to add it to the thing. All right. And here, let's share the screen. There we go. Okay, Your Honor, we have Exhibit B. I am making my case today. I am making my case because it's better for me to show you rather than tell you what's going on.
Where to go for? For your kids.
You already had me wait an hour and a half. So it's for my kids.
For your kids?
Yeah, you owe me that.
So, if you guys don't understand what's happening, this is only a 3-minute video, but straight off the bat, they had dinner. You can tell if you look on the table, fine dinner on the table. It looks like he's taking her to a restaurant that's not a 5-star restaurant, but she's okay with that, right? She's fine not being taken to a 5-star restaurant. But she said, now you need to pay for dinner for my kids. My kids. Not only are you paying for me tonight, but you're going to pay for my kids. Probably don't even know the kids, never heard of them from Adam, but she's going to try to milk this man for dinner for the family. And she probably won't call him again.
With their daddy? No, that is.
Oh my God. So that's so. Go ahead and bring another steak and some potatoes. Okay.
No, don't bring no potatoes. No, bring the check. I'm paying for my meal and your meal. I'm not paying for your kids' meal.
She said, waiter, can you bring me another steak and potatoes? Bring me another plate of steak and potatoes. What children do you know that are interested in eating steak and potatoes? They're not eating Pizza Hut. Now that could be understandable. Oh, we're having pizza. Let's take some pizza to the children. No, she wants steak and potatoes for herself so she can eat that later on tonight. Well, she's probably preparing another date to go out with another man that has nothing to do with you, sir. These men, protect your sons. All of you in the chat, protect your sons. These are the women. This is the type of woman that is common today. This is out there. Okay? Not all of the interaction are filmed. These are just the ones that are filmed. But this happens quite often. Women have no shame anymore. No shame, no dignity about themselves. And then you see the waiter got in on the action as well because the waiter had to put her opinion in it as well.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not paying for that kids' meal. No.
So you don't think you owe me after having me wait an hour and a half?
I told you I owe you. I owe you one. I'll take you out again.
And so you're gonna pay for my kids' food?
No, I'm not doing that.
Can you please go ahead and?
I'm not doing that. No. Hold up, beautiful. Hold on. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Why you not? Bring two, please.
What's in there, Kiera? Why should I do that, Kiera?
Because you're sitting right here on the date.
I was late to the date.
Can you bring 2 orders?
But I'm saying, why would I get her kids food? Why would I get?
You know, on the Lip Heath network, they told me that there's a thing called the sisterhood, where Black women always stay on Black women's side, no matter what, no matter how wrong, no matter how vile, no matter how, what have you, no matter how disgusting, but they stay on each other's sides because it's called the sisterhood. This is what Lip Heath taught me, that there's a thing called the sisterhood. Well, actually, it was Anton. Anton is the one who taught me about this. And I believe that this is the sisterhood in full effect. This woman had no reason to be in this business between this man and this woman, but instead she puts her opinion in, and now she's making it seem like, oh, she's right for her to be begging for her children to get fed by this random man, this random stranger that they're having their first date. But now he has to pay for her children. This is okay.
Get her kids some food. They with their daddy.
She was right here.
Their daddy should be feeding them.
She was waiting.
Exactly.
So you order a steak for your son. How old is he?
Right.
He eating steak. He eating the same thing I eat. Nah, hell no. I'm straight. I'm cool. Don't put that on my bill. Don't put that on me.
Make sure you put a side of A1 sauce as well. He paying for all of this today.
I'm not paying for all that. No, I'm not paying for all that.
Yes, you are.
You gonna get her fired up in here.
She ain't gonna get fired.
No, I'm about to go back in the kitchen. You got me messed up. I'm about to tell her right now. No, for real. I'm telling her right now. No, you got messed up. I'm not paying for that. No, I'm not. I'm not paying for this food. I'm not paying for this.
She sat here and watched
just because I was late. Just because I was late, I'm not paying for this. No, I'm not doing that.
And then after we already at Red Lobster, you couldn't take me nowhere.
I'm about to go back in the
Red Lobster, a chain restaurant But you guys remember the last woman, she said she can't go to Cheesecake Factory. But this woman is taken to Red Lobster and she's fine with that. And to be honest, this woman is actually prettier than the last woman. And she's still okay with going to Red Lobster. Where is the dignity, guys? Where is the shame? How can you feel good as a woman begging a man to send food to your son? A son that's not his. Where is that boy's father? Like, I don't understand why the lack of dignity is so rampant. Have these women no mothers? Have they no fathers?
Kitchen. I'm going back to the kitchen. No, I'm not paying for this. I'm about to leave. You gonna pay for my food and your food and what you ordered in here. No, listen, no, I'm straight.
I've been here since I was 15.
Okay, I told you I owe you one. So I mean, I'll take you out again. Do something for you. I'm not doing something for your kids. No, I ain't even met your kids.
I want you to make sure that my kids eat too.
Man.
Leslie has a point. File a complaint. I'm going to rewind I'm going to rewind for like 2 seconds because I did miss a part because I was looking through your guys' comments. But Leslie has a point. File a complaint with Red Lobster. This is not her business. This is not a part of her job, and she will not be getting tipped. If this was me, you are not getting a tip, lady. Okay? You just lost your tip right there.
No, I ain't even met your kids.
I want you to make sure that my kids eat too.
Man, y'all see this, man? Look, I'm recording this. Look, y'all see this shit, right? I'm recording, man. Hey, she go back to the kitchen. Hey, yo, get her. Get her. Hey, yo. Hey, don't put that order in. Hey, don't put that order in. That made my kids. Don't put that order in. Don't put that order in. That made my kids.
Wait, okay, listen, I was watching the chat for a second. I was just looking at the chat and then like all I heard was dishes and grill, and all of a sudden, no, take that order off. This man is protecting his wallet. He is protecting his assets. And good to you, good sir. I am so proud of this man for standing up and saying no. He went to the kitchen. And the reason why he had to go to the kitchen is because the woman, the waitress, she would have went back there and demanded that order had been made and demanded that he pay for it. A man shouldn't have to feel like he has to go to the kitchen. It's never a customer's place to have to go to the kitchen because your waiter is adverse to you. How is your waiter an adversary? That is... This man ran to the kitchen. I am so proud. One sec. Let me just, I missed a second. This video is so short. That's why I'm missing pieces. Here we go.
Kids, don't put that order in. Don't put that order in. They made my kids. For real, like I'm about to give me my check. I want just my check with my no, I'm saying I want my check. Okay, don't put them kids on my bill. Them ain't my kids. You know what I'm saying? Them ain't my kids. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to put a bill on me. Them ain't my kids.
Yep.
Hell no, bro. She's trying to put a bill on me and them ain't my kids. I'm late to the date. She's trying to make me get some food for her and her kids. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Oh,
it's my first date. I ain't even met the kids yet.
The sisterhood. Did you guys hear? What wrong with that? What do you mean, what wrong with that? There's so... Oh my God, the sisterhood is a real thing. Oh my gosh, Anton was not lying. Wow.
It's my first date. I ain't even met the kids yet. I'm late. I gotta buy them steaks. He said steak and 2 chicken tenders. Come on, y'all. Y'all ain't on my side. Ain't nobody on my side, man. Hey, it's cool though.
Whatever.
It's cool though. She gonna take that shit off. Checking that shit off. Nope, I ain't paying for your kids. Yeah, I ain't paying for your kids.
Yeah, an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. They both gonna eat good.
Probably got a big head ass son. Just like your big head ass.
They both gonna eat good.
Look how big her head is. Her son got a big head too. I ain't feeding your big ass son. Nope. Can I get a box?
Oh no. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot believe that. I really cannot believe that, guys. That is pathetic. It almost makes me want to cry. I don't know why I'm so emotional. I'm still a gangster, okay? Even if I'm crying, I'm still a gangster. But what I'm saying is, you couldn't have Asian women doing that. No Asian community would be in that restaurant, okay? And this situation happened, and a man goes to an Asian woman and says, she's trying to make me pay for her children too. Asian women would say, why are you out with a woman with children? She should be at home with the children. Leave that woman to be a mother. Do not distract her because she has a job to do. That's what they would say. You couldn't do that with Arabs. You couldn't do it with Indians. This is the only, I'm sorry to say this, and I'm not being racist, but I believe this is the only community where you would see that this type of behavior would be rewarded and completely supported by every other Black woman in there. And I say this as a person from a different culture. We would never see that in our culture. He's already being kind, taking her out as a single mother. She's a single mother. Already she's at the bottom of the barrel. And she's already being treated good by being taken out and given a chance. And then she tries to take a mile. He's giving her in, she's trying to take a mile. That is pathetic. I'm so sorry. And like I said, do not judge me, calling me racist, because I said that this is the only community that I would see this happen in, because Anton was right. The sisterhood is a thing. And all those women, like in unison, said the same thing. How are women that programmed to just automatically go to the other woman's side, to stick together with the other woman? How is that possible? This is why I see this issue, and like I said, all Western problems are exacerbated in the Black community. Yes, there's a problem with single motherhood in America and in the West, but that problem is exacerbated in the Black community. There's a problem with divorce and marriages in the West, but that problem is exacerbated in the Black community. There's a problem with crime and stealing all over the Western world, but that problem is exacerbated in the Black community. And then you see this, and the women just in unison, like robots, like they automatically knew. Everybody just kind of knew. Like, I am sorry, that's just so strange to me that every woman he went to, it was like no questions asked. They didn't even take a minute to consider. They just automatically said, "What's the problem?" Yeah, she's right. You would never see that in a different community. That is scary. If I were a Black man, I would be terrified. I would be freaked out to know that my women in my community are this like this adversary to me. Me as a Black man, if I were a Black man, I would be this. All the women are my adversaries because they stick together more than thinking about the position of this man. Nobody even took in consideration his situation. Oh man. All right. Well, I don't even know where to go from there. I really don't. I'm and Dr. M says, I don't like the fact that he's filming the date, but I'm glad he's standing up for himself. He needed to film, Dr. M. There's a situation. Did you see what just happened? Did you see? That was like a war tactic. That's what that looked like, a straight out war tactic. If he did not film that, nobody would believe him. I'm glad he did film it. He needed to, because I think he got to a point in that date where he realized things are about to go south and I need proof. I need evidence. Just like we say in law, just because you kill someone doesn't mean you're guilty. It's not about what you did, it's what you can prove. And he needed that video to prove, because there was no way that anybody else is going to believe him, that all the women in the restaurant, even the cooks, stood up for the woman's side and said that he needs to pay for children that aren't his, he never met, he has no connection to, and this is the first date that they're going out on. All the women in unison. You couldn't get that. I am telling you guys, that's the weird part about it. I thought Anton was crazy. When Anton was saying this about this sisterhood and so on and so forth, I thought he was just exaggerating, because I was like, Anton, maybe he's putting on a show because we were doing the little Peef network, and maybe he was just doing a show. He is right. He's right. That is scary. Like I said, I'm just putting myself in a position, if I were a Black man, if this were the women that I had to choose from. These are the women of my community. If I'm a Black man, these are my women. I get to pick, I have my pick of the litter for all the Black women, but you're not getting a pick of a litter. You're getting an exact copy of the next woman. Each one of them is an exact copy of the other one. Larry says, Amira, we all told you this. I didn't see it. Okay. You told me that. It doesn't matter what you tell me because I need to see for myself. If I don't see it, I'm not going to believe. And I didn't see. That was freaky. Do you guys listen? I know maybe a lot of you are kind of accustomed to seeing this, or maybe you don't see it as weird as I do. I see that as very weird because in any other community, I believe, I could be wrong, but geez, I've lived in different countries and I've seen, you don't see that. You don't see people just all in unison, completely disregard the man, completely just F you, man. Like, who are you? You need to do this. And they just all in unison together. They don't even know each other in unison. Oh my gosh. And the age differences. One of the women was old. The other women were young. And all of them still agreed with the same thing. It didn't even matter the age, because I could say, oh, it's a generational thing. That wasn't even a generational thing. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Men, I don't know. Like, I'm not a man. I can't give men advice as a woman, right? All I can say is what I see. And men, Black men, if that is anything of what you guys are used to in your normal lives, I am so sorry that is the way it is, because man, if that's what happens every time that you guys have a problem in your community, that's what happens, whew, I couldn't imagine. It's already bad enough for men in the Western world dating. It's already bad enough for the men. Not to mention having every woman be an adversary to you. They're all in unison together as like synced. What was that movie? The iRobot movie, yeah? Where they had that little dot and they all are synced in with the motherboard, the mothership. That's what that looks like. To me, that's what that looked like, because none of them even took a minute to consider the situation. Nobody took a minute. Nobody even asked questions. Nobody said, how long have you known her? Do you know the children? Have you met the children? Nobody asked a question. They just straight away went to, yeah, what's the problem? What the problem? Oh my God. All right. You understand it all. Save us, fellas. Guys, like I said, this is a person who's outsider looking in. That's why I say I've never seen that. I've never seen women do like that. Just no question, no nothing, no consideration for this man. They didn't look at him as, this could be my son. This could be my son on his first date with a woman. And she's telling him that he needs to pull out his finances for a risk because you don't even know if you're going to see this woman the next day. You don't even know if you're going to see her tomorrow. And not only was she asking for charity or generosity, she was demanding as if she were owed. I'm owed this. This is what you must do. And nobody actually looked at the situation and said, that could be my son. They only went straight to her. That's what I say. Women, I mean, you would think, especially in my culture, we see things differently. We look at men as if they could be our son, our father, our uncle. That's why I said that's why it looks scary to me, because none of the women even took a minute to think about the situation. Nobody asked questions. They just straight away went to sisterhood. Straight to whatever the woman said. Yeah, that's what he needs to do. What's the problem? What the problem be? What the problem is? Instead of asking questions or saying that could be my son at his first date. Is that how I would want my? Oh, it gets worse. So now that I'm seeing this, it's actually making things click in my head, because I've seen a situation where there was a woman and she was asked a question about the sisterhood kind of, topics. And when she was asked this question, they asked her, they said, well, what if this was your son? Would you still say the same thing if this was your son? This woman, without hesitation, said, if it's my son, I would say the same thing, because he needs to put the Black woman first. He needs to put the woman over himself. Black women are queens. Black women are Mother Earth. They need to be above everything and everyone. And just saying that, I was thinking to myself, where do men fit in the Black community? Where is his place? In every other community, I see that we all put our men above the women because we understand that men contribute more than women when it comes to society. Yes, women contribute by birthing children. We all know that. Okay, that's like the greatest thing that a woman can do. But when it comes to society, maintaining society, building society, men are the ones who dominate in that sector. Not only that, men are the ones who risk more than women. So we understand that in our culture. And this is why even women will say the men are above the women. We all say that. My mother said that. My grandmother said that. My aunties said that. They said, men are here, women are here. That's well known. And nobody's offended by that because we all understand. But in this case, when I saw the woman who she was asked the sisterhood question, and she straight away said, no. She said, no, I would say the same thing. Because Black women are Mother Earth. Black women are queens. So do kings not exist in the Black community? And if they do exist, are they considered to be under the queen or on the same level as the queen? Because, anyway, I'm going to read your guys' comments because I'm going to start ranting. I'm going to start ranting, guys, because I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting that we were going to have a conversation about the gender war. That's what the stream is about. I was expecting that we were going to have a conversation about the gender war. I wasn't expecting to see that. I never saw the whole video. I didn't expect to see this man running to the kitchen saying, no, 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 please don't, because his waitress is a part of the sisterhood and she cared not about what he wanted. How do you have a waitress like that? And Leslie said, you should make a complaint. Leslie, who is he going to complain to? I ask you, Leslie, because we agreed that he should make a complaint. But who is he going to complain to? Because from the way that it looks like the sisterhood is running that whole place. That whole Red Lobster, it was women all in the kitchen. There was like maybe one man. So who are you going to make a complaint to? Because the moment that they hear the story, because they're part of the sisterhood, I doubt that they're going to even reprimand, is that the right word? Discipline their waitress. They'll probably give her a raise. Say, oh yes, she did well. Good for standing with the sisters. My culture would be in shambles if we were like that. Our family structures would be torn apart if we thought that way. Our families wouldn't. All right, let me read this. Leslie, that's why Princella is taking over the Black female space. I don't know who that is. I'll check it out. In a second. Lepo says men were shamed to take on the single mothers. Still are in some circles. I've heard that too. Because they're saying single mothers are so common in today's modern world that not every man is going to be able to get a woman without children. The majority of men are going to have to accept women with children. And I say hell to the no. No, they don't. They don't have to accept that. And the reason I say don't accept that is not because women with children are such a bad thing per se. Because in my culture, we do still have men who marry divorcees. They still do. And it's honorable in our culture because we have a different culture. We don't have a culture of women who abuse the system and who are looking to milk men for all they have. We don't have that kind of culture. We also don't have a culture of disrespecting the men. We don't have that type of culture. So for men to do that in our culture, it's not seen as bad, but it's still seen as something that if you can avoid that situation, you will. But I've seen that Black men, especially, have been told that they're going to have to accept that because there aren't any. And I'm like, no, just let it die off. Let it all die off then start anew. Start the new culture and let all the bad situations die off. And there's a reason, because the women today, the single mothers of today, do not value the men and the sacrifice that they will make if they take on her and her children. The women today don't see the value in it. They don't see the sacrifice. They see a simp. They don't respect you the same as women before, who understood that this man is basically saving your life by taking you on with your children, with your miniatures. He's saving your life by doing that. Before, that's how women used to see it. Today, they see it as, you are my second option. This is the reason why it's not as valuable, it's not as honorable as it used to be. It used to be honorable. Men used to be seen as stronger men for doing this. Now, you're just a simp. We was queens. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry if I'm blowing into the mic, guys. That was an accident. I'm sorry. 26 says, they expect a man with no kids to help her with her 5 kids. That's crazy. They are a hive mind. American Patriot says, I would tell that girl, good luck finding someone to support you. Bye. Just the idea that nobody has shame. She wasn't shamed not one bit. You didn't see any shame in her face for doing that. And then, oh my gosh, man, I can't. This is why more men are going across the seas to find a bride. I understand that. I understand. But there's nothing better than your own people. Really. There's nothing better than your own tribe. And I understand that men doing that, but there's nothing better than your own. That's why I say the problem has to be fixed, but I think it's just one of those things that you just have to let die out. You have to let it die out and then start anew. She doesn't want that food for her children. She wanted steak and potatoes so she could go home and feast on that by herself later while watching Love and Hip Hop or whatever shows that's popular. They teach their sons to comply, Amira. Larry, do you know? Larry, this is something that I have seen. Do you know that I had said that before? I said that the women are neutering the boys. This is why I said single households, single mothers are the worst thing that could happen to a boy. To a boy child, a single mother is close to a death sentence. And I mean that literally, because women pass down their female attitudes to boys. And then they teach the boys sympathy to women who are struggling, to single mothers. Single mothers teach their sons sympathy to other single mothers. Sympathy leads to men being simps. That's why I said a man with us, I know that it happens, and sometimes it's not something you can control. Sometimes there's situations where the father is in the army and he passes away, and then the mother is forced to be a single mother and raise a child in that circumstances. That is different. That's a very different circumstance versus a woman who had a child out of wedlock and is raising said child alone because she made poor decisions. That is a completely different circumstance. And these are the circumstances that get men killed. Men growing up in that situation, you can't get away with the things that women can get away with. So he ends up growing up with a female attitude and ends up taking that female attitude to other men who have grown up with their fathers. And then they get taught the hard way. And I see it all the time on police situations, police video cams, what have you, where you see boys or men, young men, who have never been told no or told what to do by a man of authority. They've never had an authority figure in the form of a man say anything to them. So they resist it. And they're like, oh, you can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do. And then they get shot. because they don't know how to respond to authority. So, I mean, that's the reason why I'm saying this is a death sentence. Being women, you know what I was thinking right now? I was just thinking about something. I want to share it with you. Women will survive, right? Women will survive no matter what, because I believe, now I could be wrong, but that the first people to die when things go awry are men, because men will be forced to go to the front lines. Men will be the ones outside taking risks. Men will be the ones who are going to be targeted more than anything, because especially when you have wars, most armies aren't targeting women and children. Most armies are targeting to kill the men, because the men are the leaders and the men are the ones who, you understand, men are more powerful than women. That's why I said men are here, women are here. That's just how it is. That's life. But anyway, men are the ones who die first, because not only are men put to the front lines when there's a war, when there's a problem, famine, what have you. Men are the ones who are at the front line. Men are the ones who take the risks, and men are the ones who are targeted. Women will survive no matter what, because women, especially with this kind of sisterhood mentality, if more races of women take on that mentality, our world is screwed. I'm still shocked at what just happened. I'm still replaying that situation that we just saw in my mind. It was different faces, but the same thing. Different face, but same ideology, same unison, same everything. That is freaky to me. All right, let me read your guys's actually, I need to drink water, actually. Let me drink water really quickly, because well, Fionn says men are disposable. Exactly. And people always talked about women, how women are mistreated, right? And when women are mistreated, the world is mistreated, because women are the ones who raise the children. I want to ask you guys a question. Now, this question is a hypothetical, right? But I want an answer, because it's one of those questions that you don't want to answer. Okay? If one sex has to be mistreated or dead or what have you, which one would be the one out of the two sexes, that would have the least effect on society and humanity as a whole, if they are the ones at the bottom? If men are at the bottom, does that have a greater or lesser effect on society as a whole and human progress? Or if women are at the bottom, does that affect society and human progress more? Carrie says that's not answerable. I believe it is, but I'm waiting for you guys' answer. While you guys answer, I will I'm gonna have one of these things. Do you guys know what a fig Newton is? Yeah. We have the same thing in the Middle East, but we put dates inside of it instead of fig. Depends on the effect that you look at. Keela says greater. I don't know what you mean, because I'm asking men or women. No men, no babies. If men are at the bottom, that greatly affects society. That it affects society more. Leslie says men at the bottom has a greater effect on society as a whole. I love those. Me too. They're my favorite snack. God hates figs. I don't know why I read that wrong. The first time I read it, I thought you were on my side, Clue. Suka says it's more that a man can impregnate lots of women, so it's okay for the species for men to die. All right. Women at the bottom, less effect. Okay. So the reason I'm going to give my answer I believe the same thing. In America, or in the West, not just in America, in the Western world, what we're seeing right now is men being forcibly put at the bottom, men being forcibly controlled and neutered and told that their natural state of being as a man, as masculine, is a problem. And that women, their nature is more preferred, because this is not true. But the ideology that's pushed today, especially in schools, is that women's nature is more pleasant. They are more peaceful. Men are the ones who caused all the great world wars. Men are the ones who caused the Holocaust. Men are the ones who are violent. Men are the ones who bring humanity down, while women have always been the ones that build humanity up. Because women are more negotiable, you could say. They are more forgiving. They, whatever, what have you. You understand? This is the common thing that's been pushed today, that men aren't good because they're masculine, or their nature innately is wrong. This is why I asked you guys that question. If men are at the bottom, does society suffer more or less? And I believe that men on the bottom, of course, make society and humans suffer more, that our progress as humans will decline or even come to a halt if men are being pushed at the bottom and not valued. That's what we're having right now in our culture today. In our culture today in America, this is what's happening. This is not a hypothetical. I gave you guys the question as a hypothetical, but let's be real. It's really not a hypothetical. I just gave you the question so you can answer it, but it's not a hypothetical. It's happening right now. We see it all over. It's all over the internet, all over the news, all over. I mean, it's in schools, it's in the workplace. Men are refusing to work with women. Did you guys know that? Recently, there's been an uptick of men refusing to work next to women because of the whole allegations and so on and so forth. Men are starting to separate themselves from women. Men are starting to hate women. They're starting to despise them, and with good reason. We thought MGTOW was bad. We thought, oh, there's just a bunch of men, women hating people. Yeah, that may be true. But did they not have a reason for the things that they said? They do have a reason. I'm not saying that they're doing it the best way, but they have a reason. And now that whole MGTOW culture is spreading, but it's not called MGTOW anymore. It's just called society effing over men and men pushing back. When I was telling you guys this because even in schools, men, or boys, let's say boys don't behave the same as girls, of course. So in school, boys are fidgety. They don't want to sit down. They want to go outside. All these things. So what they're doing is loading the little boys up with Ritalin, Adderall, all types of drugs. Testosterone in the West has gone down, has dropped drastically. There's many reasons for this, but I believe it's all an attempt to neuter men, to neuter them in a way, because women's behavior and mannerisms are preferred, but they don't speak about how violent women are, how passive aggressive women are, how evil and vindictive women are, because women are seen as these cute little things that don't do anything wrong, and they're always nice and always forgiving. But that's not, we all know that. We all know that's a bunch of garbage. And men who fell for that have suffered greatly through the family courts. Nonetheless, family courts are also neutering men. Anyway, but there is some fight back now. Things have been changing a little bit. I've seen a little bit changing where men are starting to fight back, and things are turning around even in the family court. Now they're making women pay child support just as if they were men. They're giving those numbers, those high numbers, to women to pay child support now, and jailing them when they don't pay. Police officers as well. Police officers are no longer falling for the horse and donkey show of women crying and saying, I just broke up with my boyfriend. That's why I ran 5 red lights and 3 stop signs and I hit a rabbit and everything. They're no longer falling for it. Men are actually getting irritated and offended at women trying to use their toxic femininity, as I would call it, trying to use their tears, their feminine voices and everything to get out of tickets and so on. Police are no longer falling for it either. Another thing that happens today is that you see women who get pulled over. They'll start off with the whole, oh my God, because they see it's a male officer. So they'll start with the whole crying thing and what have you. And once they get into the police car and they have handcuffs on them because the officer did not accept their little show, their little theatrics, all of a sudden you see their attitude change to vicious, rude, vile. You seen that? Have you guys seen that? In the beginning, they start off crying and so on and so forth. But when they see that the man is not falling for their nonsense, for their garbage tears, that's when the real them comes out. And they start calling them all kinds of names from the backseat of the police car. Oh, F you, mother effer. That's why your wife doesn't like you anyway. That's why. And it's like, oh, but what happened to the damsel in distress? What happened to the tears? Because that's how women really are. Welcome to reality. Welcome to the real women. That's what it is. But anyway, the world and society are starting to wake up to this, starting to wake up and not let women get away with all the things that they've been getting away with. I want to put the link in the chat because I want you guys to come up and talk with me if you guys don't mind. I do have the list that I need to get through with you guys, but I can do that with you guys on the panel. I put the link in the chat, so whoever wants to come and join me and talk, or just you don't even have to talk really. If you guys just want to come on the panel while I do the news, you can come on as well. So you can get live reactions to the news. I'm going to begin the news. Mods, please continue to repost the link whenever you remember to do so or whenever you can. I would appreciate that. And I will get started on le news. I'm going to pull it up because I don't have it pulled up right now. Of course, I should have done this before. I know. Like I said, you guys can talk amongst yourselves about how unprepared and disorganized I am. Here we go. All right, I got it. What is today? Oh, today is the 14th. Huh. Okay. And Larry also sent me some links. Okay. All right. Here we go. In the news. Wait, let me see if I have anybody in the back. Oh, I do. Okay. Okay, I'll let you guys stay there for now. All right. So whoever wants to come, you all can come as well. In the news, a woman sharing new dating tactic to trick men into chasing them. This is a new thing that women are doing. The new dating hack for women has been dubbed dark femme energy, and it's quickly spreading throughout the estrogen corner of social media called TikTok. That's funny. Based on the dark side of psychology, this hack dives deep into the psyche of men to discover their weaknesses and then transforms the data into dating tips. In plain English, women are taught how to manipulate men better by using psychology against them. A 2005 book called The Game was referenced in the report as the male version of what dark feminine energy is meant to be for women. The Game book taught men how to manipulate women to get them into bed by treating them harshly. The dark feminine hack is a hack. The dark feminine hack teaches women valuable dating skills like, and I quote, how to ruin his ego, the best way to control a man, make him spoil you, and the super popular, and I quote, how to manipulate him. You guys see what I'm talking about? That's an article right now talking about the tactics that women are trying to use today, because that sweet feminine thing is no longer working with men. So now women are switching their tactics in order to try to maybe use a more harsh approach with men, or being more direct. Just as you saw with the woman who said, you need to pay for my children's dinner. She didn't give him an option to do it. She directed him, demanded him to do so. Women are no longer, they're just outright, you guys. Oh, this just, it just pisses me off, guys. I'm so sorry. All right. Leslie says 48 laws of power remodeled for women. Exactly. Women are trying to use men tactics, and it's not going to work because men are not going to respond the way that they think. Women think they're so clever. But men, if we're really honest, I'm going to go to the next article, but if we're really honest, the only reason why women's tactics work on men is because men allow it. Because the majority of times, I believe, men know what the woman is doing, but they allow it because men typically have a soft spot for women. So they just allow the stuff to happen. But if a man says, I'm not allowing this crap to happen, women, you're not going to get away with the things that you think. It's not going to go the way you think. It's really not. Next, in the news, a woman spends $5,000 in Mexico to marry herself. And I quote, I love myself and I would love to be married to me, she says. These words were spoken by Andrea Johnson during an interview. Although it's being reported now that the 39-year-old married herself in a private ceremony back on May 1st in Tulum, Mexico, she admitted that she was nervous the night before the wedding, asking herself if she was really going to go through with it and wondering if she's crazy. Women are no longer getting married, so they're marrying themselves. The narcissism is showing. But anyway, back to the article. While her parents supported her new relationship with herself, Johnson's co-workers called her pathetic, crazy, lonely, and starved for attention. Johnson even discovered that some of them filed an HR complaint to have her mental health checked. The nuptial was basically a ritual baptism of sorts, with Johnson dipping into a freshwater spring to, quote unquote, purify herself from her former life. Whole life. Sorry. Ooh. Hoe phase. Ooh, sorry, guys. I get a lot of dust in here sometimes, and sometimes the dust, it just comes around, hoe phases. My Little Pony, Carousel. Right. So she dipped into a freshwater spring to, quote unquote, purify herself from her former life, symbolizing her, quote unquote, rebirth into a self-appreciating woman. Good for her. Good for her. Good for her. Because at least she's taking herself out of the dating market so that men will not have to suffer her. Good on her. Because she's going to be the only one to love her. So, it's better that she does that than to keep forcing men to have to be tortured of being with her. So I believe that's actually a good thing. You guys may think she's crazy, but I think she's doing everyone a favor. Next, in the news. While on a date, a woman filmed herself eating an expensive meal, not realizing that her date ditched her with a $184 bill. Now, there's a video to this if you guys want to see it. I'll show it to you. Actually, I'll read you the article first, and then we'll watch the video right now, actually. Ready? After pressing the record button, a woman in Atlanta slurped down 48 oysters raw. A woman in Atlanta slurped down 48 raw oysters before eating a crab cake and a red potato entree. The gentleman that had joined her for dinner had only one drink. Well, it was just a glass of wine in the video I saw. It was just a glass of wine. But the gentleman had only one drink. He reportedly assumed that no food would be ordered. As the woman enjoyed her expensive meal, the gentleman excused himself for a bathroom trip and left Fontaine's Oyster House before she finished. And When the check came and the woman known as Equana B, I guess her name is Equana B, when the check came and she realized that her meal is not free, she took to social media to complain about her date's actions. She said in a very classy way, as the majority of these type of women speak, "Why the F he say he was going to the bathroom?" I'm like, hold on. It's been 10, 20, 30 minutes. And that was a quote. And I'm going to let you guys actually hear it in real life, because if you think I'm exaggerating, I'm not. That's exactly how she said it. Back to the article. She said, she even noted that the man looked at her like she was crazy when the fourth plate of oysters came out. Quote unquote, he was looking at me crazy. I don't give a F. I had to. It was so good, she said. The man later offered to cover the drinks as previously agreed to via Cashapp when Equana B reached out to him. So I will go ahead and show you guys the video of Equana B enjoying her dinner that she thought would be free, but it actually wasn't. Let me pull it up. One moment, guys, because I think it's rather interesting to see. Here, let me see. I'm gonna put the mic down so I can type. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. All right. I want to get this video without any reactions, but I can't. I don't know if I'm going to find it because a lot of people have made reaction videos of it. Come on. These dates are getting worse and worse for men. I feel very bad for men, guys. I really do. These dates are getting even worse.
Yeah.
Okay, I found the video. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you all. And I'm pulling it up, guys. Please be patient. Here we go.
So today I linked with this nigga I met a few weeks ago out with my friends. This nigga been texting me for weeks talking to himself. Why I didn't block him, bitch, I don't know. But today I was bored and I had time, so he texted me like, "Can we meet for drinks?"
Do you guys hear the way she's speaking? I mean, the way she talks, every other word is a curse word. She just keeps saying the B word. She's calling all of her viewers B. Okay. Now, if you're going out with a woman who speaks this way, I'm gonna tell you, you have it coming. Okay, you had it coming. You should have known better. Just by the way she speaks, should be enough to tell you that this is not a quality woman. But go ahead.
Talking to himself. Why I didn't block him, bitch, I don't know. But today I was bored and I had time, so he texted me like, "Can we meet for drinks?" And I'm like, "Yeah, meet me here." They got the best fucking oysters in Atlanta, like hands down. So I'm like, yes, I can get some content. Come on. It's so good. Y'all, when the fourth one came out, he was looking at me crazy. I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, baby, you invited me out. I'm gonna eat, and I was coming anyway. But I ain't gonna lie. No, I wouldn't have did all that, but I did do all that. It was so good. I was not expecting it to be that good. It was just so good. Like I had to. It was so good. So after that, I'm like, baby.
Listen, guys, she's talking and I'm disgusted, guys. Like, she's just the way she speaks. It's not even just the vulgarity. It's the slurping. It's the It's the lazy speaking. Like, she can't even open her mouth and properly enunciate words. She's just, let me tell you. Oh, it was so good. I don't give a Like, who speaks this way? All right, we're almost finished.
What's next? What I'm about to eat? These potatoes, they were so good. And the crab cakes, everything was so good. 10, baby. Why the fuck this bitch ass nigga say he going to the bathroom and never come back? The fuck? I'm like, hold the fuck on. It's been like 10, 20, 30 minutes, bitch. What the fuck this nigga at? Had to end up grabbing a tab, bitch. Nigga left me with his little one fucking drink. Yeah, bitch. I'm so glad bitch keep me some money, cause what? That was crazy to me. And I said, bitch, you running out on the tab. He's talking about, I'm offering you to drink. The fuck are you talking about, bitch?
All right, so that was that. That was that. I'm done. All right. I told you I would give it to you. Okay. I told you I would do this for you. I did this for you guys. I didn't do this for me. This is not benefiting my health at all. Okay. I'm not doing this for my health. I'm showing you guys what's out there. This is disgusting. All right. We have 2 more stories in the news, and then I'm going to bring up Keela because Keela is here, and Keela has a strip club story hour. He needs to talk about, he's going to do strip club story hour, okay? So I'm going to do my last little 2 articles, and then Keela is going to do strip club story hour. And then I might go buy myself a drink of Patron or something. Is Patron? Is that vodka? No, it's tequila. But
it's tequila.
Right.
Expensive tequila.
But is it like a drink? Is it like a mixed drink? Or is it?
No, it's tequila.
I know, but what is tequila? Okay, I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
Tequila is an alcohol made out of the agave plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I might buy myself a drink of that because at this point, you guys I'm done. I'm done watching these women. Like, I could never. Maybe drinking is what makes these women look attractive. I don't know, but this is disgusting. All right. I'm going to get my last 2 stories out and I'm done. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. It's 1 story. It's only 1 story, okay? We have 1 last story, but it counts as it counts as 3. This story counts as 3 stories, okay? Listen, I'm going to tell you guys this story, but don't judge me. This is not something that I want to talk about, but it is the news, and I told you guys I'll give you the news. So here we go. A naked man at a Seattle JCPenney store He was jumped by parents who accused him of trying to touch their children. For those of you in the back who didn't hear me, a naked man at a Seattle JCPenney was jumped by parents who accused him of trying to touch their children. In the news, 2 men chased the naked man around the department store. I just can't imagine. I'm shopping for socks for my husband. You know, maybe get him a new pair of boxers, maybe whatever. I'm shopping. And then I turn to my left, and there's a naked man in all of his naked glory running past me, which I've never seen a naked man run. What goes on down there when men run? Never mind. Okay. A naked man in all his naked man glory runs past me as I turn to my left. And he's being chased, nonetheless, by men, other men and women and parents. And the children are following behind them, trying to get their parents to stop chasing the naked one. I cannot imagine. That would make my whole week. That would just make my week. That would just lighten my whole week. I would be completely satisfied with my social curiosity for the week. That would be great. Anyway, back to the story. 2 men chased the naked man around the department store while a shocked woman yelled, "He's like fully naked." because we needed her to give everyone that announcement. More men joined in on the chase, causing the man who initially grabbed a pair of pants to put on to forget about them and start swinging at his chasers. The nudist was eventually cornered and struck repeatedly by his chasers, with one man literally doing the Hulk smash maneuver on him and nearly had to be pulled off of the naked man. The person who wrote this article knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. So they did a Hulk smash maneuver on a naked man and they had to be pulled off of him. Arresting officers told reporters that the man was in the midst of a mental crisis. All right, I'm done. You got your news, guys. I'm done. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not talking about anything else that has to do with. I'm not. You guys, you got your news. I'm ready to quit. Keela, tell your strip club story hour so we can get off of this street. Keela, go ahead.
Wait. But before he does, I just want to say.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Before you do, Killer, can I say something?
So let's see.
Wait. Killer, can I say something without getting put in the naughty corner?
No.
You would be the first one to go tonight, I think.
Dude, I had nothing to. I wasn't even thinking about what you just said when I wrote that article. I just wrote it.
Yeah, right. You put the word smash. No. You put the word smash.
It's in the video. He literally did the Hulk smash move on the guy's back.
Larry, you do not need to put that in the same sentence. The word smash and being pulled off of a naked man should not all go together in one sentence, Larry. Are you all right?
Well, look, technically they were facing each other, so he would have been giving him head and not getting smashed. But that's not what I was talking about.
Let's get Larry up out of here. Hi, smoking auditor. All right. Are you dressed, sir? Because we don't need any more nakedness on the. Okay. All right. Yes. Thank you so much. All right. Perfect.
I wouldn't come on panel if I didn't have clothes on. I don't care if all you can see was just my face.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate that because apparently nakedness and Hulk smashing and all that kind of stuff happens. All right, guys. So you guys feel free. I think Keela needs to give us a strip club story hour first, and then we'll move on from there.
Interesting. All right. So let's talk about some of these entertainers and how they things are just so magnificent, God's gift to the great green earth. And
they are though.
I'm not one to part with my money very easily, and I'll tell you, I make a lot of them mad. And,
how so?
Because of the worst ones will just straight come up to you and demand a drink. And I'm just like, I don't even know your name. I don't even know if I even like you. And you're just coming up over here and you think your opening is just get me a drink? I'm flabbergasted. I'm like, you must have definitely not had a daddy in your life to think it's okay just to be talking to men like that. But hey, to each their own, right? They gonna do what they gonna do. And so the best ones, they come up, they greet you. They'll ask you your name. They'll sit down, they'll have good conversation with you. And at that time, I let about like 10, 15 minutes go by, because she has better things to do. She can get to doing them, I'll happily be, hey, would you like a drink? Mm-hmm. And most of the time they're like, yeah, sure. And, and if they're really good, I'll even ask them what they want, not just buy them whatever I want. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them, I found out, they get really mad when you don't ask them what they want to drink. And
yeah, but you don't care though, right? Because you said you don't mind making them mad.
yeah, no, I don't mind. And if I know they're that way, I'll definitely be like, oh yeah, just get them, my, what I'm having.
Water. Water, milk. Have you ever ordered milk?
Get them a tall glass of milk. And it's really unfortunate because I do watch other men in there that have no backbone. They literally will just be like, oh, okay, well, what can I get you? And then as soon as they get the drink, they'll go leave the dude without even having a conversation with the guy and go sit next to somebody else who isn't even giving them any money.
But let me ask you this. Is this place a strip club? Is that a place for men to have a backbone? Because I wouldn't think that would be a place for men to have a backbone.
I would beg to differ because showing weakness in a place filled with lions, and wolves, when you exuberate weakness like that, you put a mark on your back that other people can start toying with you, playing with you, and setting you up for things you don't even see. Or even worse, have other girls rob you.
Have you seen that happen, Keela? Have you seen where men?
My lady and I, we have actually watched. Yeah. Yes, I have. And my lady was there one night when this guy came in with I think 3 or 4 big stacks of ones in his back pocket, and a girl literally went up to him and yanked one right out of his pocket and walked away. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe. I was like, that girl's cut. I am never dealing with that girl ever in my life.
Let me ask you this. In these cases
where these things happen.
Keela, I know there's a delay. So when I speak, just try to wait like a few seconds because there's a delay. But I want to tell you this. In these cases where you have a club, if the men get taken advantage of, does the club take the woman's side or the man's side? I think his internet is not good. Okay, Keela, you're failing. You fail now because you don't have good internet. You need to get it together, okay?
Wi-Fi strikes again.
It's all right. Don't worry. But you're failing this time.
I didn't hear anything you were saying there. If you hear me.
It's okay.
Can I answer it?
Hold on, Keela. 1 second.
She asked who does the club take sides with? And I can tell you right now, the club's going to take sides with their workers because they're getting a percentage of whatever money they kidnap, steal, or trick people out of.
They get a percentage? Oh, well, I would imagine they would have to pay them, right?
Yeah.
So men are always getting screwed over no matter what. Even in men's places, in men's spaces, they're still getting screwed over.
Unless if you're the male owner of that place, then you're the only one coming out ahead.
That's sad. That's very sad, guys. And you would think that would be a place where men could be safe. That's a gentleman's club, right? Even then, men aren't safe.
No, a gentleman's club is where there's just a whole bunch of guys and there's no strippers there, and we're just hanging out with each other, drinking and having fun. That's a safe place for men. Right. A strip club is where desperate men go because they want to see a woman in real life, since all the other ones are either crazy or undateable for them.
Wow. And what about the fantasy aspect of it? Because I was thinking, since real women in real life are so entitled, you guys saw the videos that I showed you earlier. where if you take them out to dinner, if you're not going to a 5-star restaurant, they're not happy. If you're not taking them to this or that, and then you got to pay for their children. Since real women in real life are so entitled, do you think that men go to strip clubs to get the beautiful side of women?
It just depends what kind of woman you're. Not even what woman you're looking for. What are you after? Like, some of these guys going on dates, like, are they just trying to sleep with these girls one night, or are they just trying to, like, date them? But if people had an idea of what they wanted initially first, then their outcomes might be a bit better. I think some of these guys going to these gentleman clubs, despite probably being filthy rich in some cases, these guys are trying to wipe up some hoes, and that's just not gonna work.
Wait.
That depends on the club.
Yeah. If you're going to some strip club trying to wipe up a thought, I guess you're filthy rich. They'll probably blow you in the fucking bathroom for like $5, but it doesn't matter, honestly.
Oh my gosh.
It also depends on, like, a lot of the videos you showed. I think those are more like city women. If you go out to the country, the females are way different, way more behaved. They're more appreciative of stuff. You find yourself a girl who worked on a farm, or a cowgirl, or someone that had responsibilities growing up. They're more appreciative of stuff. They don't care about 5-star restaurants. They just want to go out and have a good time and talk. The ladies you showed in your videos, which I'm glad don't show up on my feed, they just want to go out and be able to brag about stuff, to show that their social status is this high because they're able to get someone to pay for this and pay for that, while not being able to contribute anything themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then that one about the mom at the Red Lobster. I'm sorry, how are you going to date someone and not inform them beforehand that you even have kids? No, you don't bring your kids out to the first few dates because you need to make sure the guy's okay to be around your kids. But still, it's something that should come up. I do have something to add
real quick. So one thing I have noticed, when the female managers have taken over the spot from a male, the girls become way more ruthless.
Yeah, I noticed that. I don't know. I guess maybe that's in our genetics. Women see men as kind of like, I don't know, I can't fuck with that guy. He's got, I don't know. It's just something how we fucking are as people. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have kids or anything, but when I was in a daycare and I took care of kids, like, how like around the female provider, the kids would try and like, nudge like kids do. They try to push the angle and shit. But when the guy provider come in, they would kind of know, okay, he's top dog. I'm gonna make sure I behave.
I'm gonna chill out.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Sometimes I'm helping my friends out with daycare. They'll be like, hey, can you go get these gonna stop? And I come in there, they're like, oh shit, the guy's here. The kids know that. If kids know that, then definitely adults know that too. And the girls know, I can pull one over on her because she's a girl. They can't do that for guys. Guys a little bit more. Guys know the girls' tricks if you're at that kind of level,
Yeah.
Well,
and you know that when women flip out, women are all emotion, and they'll flip out and it's over in a few minutes. But with men, there's more consequences. It's like you don't want to disappoint a man. Does that make sense? I brought up the point with fathers versus mothers. a child, they typically are more scared of the mother, but they don't want to disappoint their father because the father's disappointment weighs heavier on you, right? Because a mother is never really going to be disappointed in you because mom, they're more forgiving. They're like, oh, you're my baby no matter what. No matter what you do, you're mama's baby. It doesn't matter. But with your father, that's why fathers are so important. They bring shame to the family. They bring that aspect of being shamed. You don't want to shame your father. You don't want to disappoint him. You don't want to bring more, I guess you could say, stress to him, bad eyes to him, what have you. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but that's how we feel.
You don't want that. You don't want that look of.
Yep. It's even just a look from your father, It's just a look, and your father doesn't even have to beat you. He doesn't have to. Yeah. He doesn't have to yell. It's just a presence that men bring.
Yeah, because usually aren't men. I mean, I believe in gender roles, but that's just me. But guys are supposed to be like the leaders of the house, right? And it's not like you're subservient. It's more like you don't want to disappoint the person that's doing the most and trying to keep things together. I don't know.
There's also a psychological thing behind it.
Mhm.
Kids will actually behave better for other people than they will at home.
Yeah, that's true.
And that only gets worse as they age until they move out and grow up a little bit. And then they're better if they ever come back home again.
I don't know if you guys have kids, but you know how like when I don't know if you guys are married either, but you know how like you have like a little kid, they'll be like sick or whatever, they'll cuddle up to the mother and stuff. The dad walks in to kind of like roughhouse with them. It's so I don't know. It's just that's the beauty of being different and being young and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I have to get on my son because he thinks it's okay to be giving mom attitude, and he isn't that way with me. So
he knows, because he knows.
If it's not okay to be that way with me, it's definitely not okay to be with her. But he tries to push it. But I have to get on him about it.
Dr. M, he's like, I got used to my father's disappointment.
I'm black. I didn't have a dad, so I didn't have that either.
Well, I wanted to tell you guys, that's why I said the importance of fathers. And like I said, for a man being raised up in a single mother household, it's very rare that you have a man who grows up without carrying on these feminine traits from his mother. It's very rare that a man can raise above that if he's raised up with just a woman, with only women around him, of course. And I said that the father being there is so different. Like fathers, they bring a different presence, they bring a different energy, they command a different level of behavior. And typically, unless you have a beta father, but most men, they just bring a certain energy to a home that cannot be replaced.
It's kind of like that thing if like your mom, if people have both parents in life, how your mom would always be like, ask your father, because she knows too. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Goodness. That's why gender roles are important, and any girl trying to be a dude, transformer, or people trying to switch the gender roles up. No, it's like trying to make Kool-Aid, but you put like fucking soda in it. That's when stuff starts getting messed up. There's a formula to how this stuff works.
Well, one of you guys said like the importance of women submitting to the man and not feeling like slaves. I think the chat would agree with me here, where it's almost as if you can't have a car with two steering wheels. You can't have a car because if one person want to go that way and the other one wants to go that way, it's not going to work. You're going to cancel each other out, or there's going to be a disaster. You're going to crash. So this is why you need one person to know how to step back. And typically the woman should be the one to step back, because women, I'm going to be honest, women don't think 5 years, 10 years ahead. Us women, it's nature for us to be more in the moment. We live more in the moment because we have to watch the children grow up. We have to be present at the moment for our husbands. We need that moment because us as women, our time is very valuable, because for women, things happen a lot faster, especially physically, than men. Men, on the other hand, tend to have the long game in mind. This is why men are so important. My husband, he'll be sitting there and we'll be talking and he'll be thinking 10 years into the future. He's thinking about things 10 years down the line that I don't even know what we're going to do next week. And he's already planning, because men, you guys just see things differently from women.
Yeah. It's interesting perspective, because like I don't know why girls somehow see like marriage as like the wife being like a slave. I don't know where that came from. It's literally like even girls like it and find it attractive when a man is doing manly things, and obviously vice versa too. If girls doing girly things, I like that a lot too. And they find that attractive. Like most common things you see in girls is like, I found it attractive that he was interested in sports or whatever he was interested in. It's just kind of how girls find comfort in guys having security. Like there's even a job, a car, all types of things. Sure. Like looks fade away with girls in like less than like 5 minutes. If a guy has like money or he's put together, girls like put together dudes. That's why even younger girls will try to go after these crazy put together dudes, because they see value in that. That brings status. Guys usually always try to fight for status. That's pretty much all it is. That's just how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong. That's why I'm a top G.
Yeah, and another thing about that is like men. It's more about how they carry themselves, really. A man's presence, the respect that he commands when he walks into a room, or the respect that he gets from other people, how other men see him is a huge deal. This is why I said that women need to always nurture their man's ego. Always nurture his ego. Do not put your man down, especially in front of people. You need to always make sure that your man's ego is well taken care of, because I know a lot of people say having an ego is a bad thing, but in a man's case, a man with an ego or confidence will be the difference between a man running into a burning building to save a family versus, a man running from said burning building. But anyway, so what do
Real
you,
quick
I
on the
mean, is
children
it,
aspect.
pardon?
On the children aspect.
Mhm.
So right now, my daughter, she's in 7th grade, and she's supposed to have her first dance, but because she's making bad decisions in school, you know, she wants to go, but I'm like, in the back of my head, I was like, I don't think so. You know what I mean? And
Right.
but my lady, because she's on top of things, we talked about it, and she, was like, I don't want her to go. And I was like, I have no problem with that. She needs to make better decisions, and she needs to
I think you made the right
understand the
decision.
price of making bad decisions.
No, it's the right
Mhm.
decision though. Yeah, I agree with you there. That's fine. Yeah.
Well, that's really good because a lot of fathers are simps for their
And
daughters.
then
And that's why I said, please don't be your daughter's first simp. I mean, it may seem nice in the beginning, but truthfully, you're going to be making something that the world is going to have to deal with.
Oh, what you just brought up there, you're backing up your lady's decisions. Like, girls like that a lot too. Like, because you probably make a lot of the decisions anyway. She feels nice that, you are backing up one of her decisions. That's good too. That
How
shows
old are
respect.
you, MSK? How old are you?
I'm 28.
Are you in a relationship?
I got out of it because I was just, I don't know, just bored.
What's your longest relationship?
2 years, probably.
You cannot give relationship advice here, sir.
Me?
I'm sorry. No, you cannot.
I was putting it down. That's what I do.
No. I need more qualified people if they're going to speak on that, especially here, because you have to remember here, we have a pretty mature crew here. We have people that are a lot older than you and me, MSK.
Me? Well, I mean, is you might disagree with what I'm saying? Or am I saying what a reasonable, thoughtful person would say?
No, it's not about disagreeing. It's just that when I hear you speak, to be honest, when I hear you speak, it sounds very idealistic. When I hear you speak, it seems more idealistic. I could be wrong, but because I'm married, right? I'm married. Most of the people here either have been married or still are married. So for us, I think we see things a little bit differently because of that
I think that's good.
experience of having to, go through day in, day out with this person, not just breaking up because we got bored, like you just said.
And then right now for my son, we're getting reports that he's just not trying hard. He's getting not meeting standards. And so Monday we took away his phone and we said, you're not getting it back until we see improvement from you. So yesterday he brings home his test. He made sure he brought home his test. And he's like, look, Dad, look what I got. And it got meeting standard. And he's like, can I have my phone? Can I have my phone? And I was like, no, buddy, you cannot. You need to understand it's important to do your best in school and do well, pay attention and focus, because he gets distracted easily.
How old is he then?
He's a kid, 8 years old. He's 8. So,
wait, he has a phone at 8?
Why the hell does he have a phone at 8?
He has a phone at 8, Keela?
It's like he can go outside, so
No, you're not answering the question, Keela. Keela, I understand there's a delay, but Keela, you're saying your 8-year-old son has a phone?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it because we're on top of it.
Oh.
But hey, not everybody's gonna agree with ways of parenting. But you know, for the point of the matter, I said, I'll play Fortnite with you, to reward him. I went and got him a donut. I got him a couple of donuts, and and rewarded him for making better decisions. But he's still not getting his phone back because I said this one time isn't okay. I need to see at least one more time you doing better.
Keela, question. So the phone that he has, is it like an iPhone, like with full internet access, or is it just like a phone for emergency calls?
It's basically a phone for emergency calls, and we can restrict what he goes on and what he uses.
I'm just asking because I'm curious on how you control that. Maybe other parents will be, interested in listening to how you'll be able to control that situation, because the internet on your phone is access to everything, like everything that we have access to as adults, they will have access to as a child with the ROM. And the thing is, taking it to school and having all that distraction be in your face with a phone and so on and so forth.
They're pretty good about not being on it at school.
Oh,
they're pretty good about not being on it at school because when they are on it at school, we hear about it. So that means they get restricted again. So they've learned schools for school, phones for when you're done with school.
I think for me it's different because we have daughters. We have daughters. So for us, Keela, 1 second. I know you have the delay going on. But for us, we have daughters. So I think it's for us, it's a lot different because we don't allow that, because we see way too many times, even Roblox, the kids playing Roblox. You have perverts that go onto Roblox and talk to the children and try to establish relationships with the children and try to meet them outside and so on and so forth, finding out what schools they go to meet up with them. This happens, Keela, to boys and girls. So this is why I don't trust anything. And like I said, the girls can only do that in my presence or the presence of daddy, because that is not allowed. That's why I say I get so paranoid about these things. You guys know how I am about children. I mean, if anybody knows, Mandatory Carrie knows, Samael knows, and Larry knows how I am about children. I don't play around with children, because to me, I'm like, that's just asking for people's crazy sides to come out. That's just asking for it. So I always worry about that situation, giving children phones and full internet access. And I know that it's common in today's world because they're like, oh, it's culture. A phone is necessary in today's world. Yeah, a flip phone. But a phone with full access to the internet, I don't know about that.
Even flip phones can access the internet.
My daughter's on track to get in herself a flip phone, I'll tell you that.
I didn't know that. Even flip phones have access to the internet.
Yes.
I got my first phone 20 years ago when I was 15.
Yeah, but it's a lot more difficult.
And it's nowhere near like smartphones today. It's more text than anything, but there's still pictures. You couldn't watch videos at all. You couldn't do like YouTube or anything like that. But you could still go to websites and do social media and post pictures and look at pictures. But there's whole YouTube channels devoted to catching predators, and it's bad.
I watch them, and this is the way that I keep up on all of the things, because like I said, the girls, I thought Roblox was such an innocent thing, guys. I really did. And I used to think TikTok was innocent when it first came out. I was like, oh, that's cute. And then I found out, slowly but surely, like what's really going on. But Roblox, when I heard that, this is going on Roblox, I lost my darn mind that day. I took the phones from the girls. I'm like, you're not getting Roblox no more. Give it to me. They start crying. They're crying. Oh, why I can't have it? I'm like, no, you can't. And their dad is like, Amira, we can just watch. We can monitor. I'm like, I don't trust. I trust nothing. I trust no one.
You have to trust them, though. You have to trust your daughters to say something, because I can't remember his name, but
otherwise you could create
One second. Smoking Auditor was trying to finish a point.
there's this channel of this guy that just got out of prison. He stole credit cards and stuff. I want to say it's like JB something, but he's always talking about the predators that he was in prison with. And the thing you have to remember is anything you could type, anything you voice chat, any way you can communicate with other people on, predators will go to that because they will do anything to be around kids. So anything that kids can talk to other kids onto, unless if it's strictly to where it's already pre-programmed things they can select and not type themselves, predators will go to that just to try to get kids.
I can't. I just can't handle this. I can't because,
Yeah.
like I said, don't play with certain parents. Certain parents will have you pooping out of a bag for the rest of your life, or using your tongue as a tie, wearing your tongue as a tie. You know what a tie is? I'll yank your tongue down through the bottom of your throat. Don't play with me.
You're being nice if that's all you do to them.
I'm not kidding. Don't play with me and children. Kamal, I'll give you a go. I don't know who you are, but hi.
Hi.
How's it going, Lioness? This is I'm actually a friend of Mandatory's.
Oh, welcome
way
in.
back,
Kamal.
way back.
Welcome in then. Keela, you were gonna say something? As always. You guys heard that? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Keela.
I have no dog in this fight.
Keela does not stop talking as soon as he gets on. Keela, go ahead.
So once you one thing you got to keep in mind is if you are always forbearing when it comes to your children, you will they will develop this rebel persona that takes as many years as they've dealt with it to lose it. So I understand you're a mama bear. I get it.
No,
but at the
Keela,
same
you're not
time,
getting it.
I understand a lot of it has to do with your culture, and I do get it. But I have seen the way
Keela.
the way you're talking.
I want to help you. And
harmed women.
Stop, Keela. The way that we do it is not how you're thinking. I know what you're thinking, like, oh, you can't do anything, you can't go anywhere, and then a kid just wants to escape and all that stuff. We don't have that in our families. We never have those kind of things in our families. It's just the way that we're brought up. Our traditions are different. Like even myself, I've been raised strict. I had to, I wasn't allowed to do sleepovers, wasn't allowed to do anything, and I never had that either. I never felt that thing like I'm going to go do it no matter what. We don't. It's just a certain. I don't know how to tell you, Keela. It's a tradition. It's a culture that we're grown up in. The majority of us don't go through that kind of thing. It's very rare. And when it does happen, it's all over the news because people are like, oh, look, this person escaped from their strict family. And that's the rare times that it will happen. But the majority of times, because of our upbringing, because of the value that we see in our families and so on, we don't typically have this rebel thing. I've seen American teenagers who are like, I'm running away. I can't do anything. And they just grab their bag and try to walk outside. We've never had that. Like, I don't know.
Let me be real on this issue. It has to do with the fathers.
But that's the
father
so.
has to be.
Yep, I think
has
so.
to be present because what happened in my household, I am a house divided. I married into my my two older children, and their mother came from a house where the father was just completely excised, and she and all of her sisters went through this. She married poorly the first time around, and our two oldest are going through this. Our two littles, knocking on wood here, they seem to be content. Now, they're only like 7 and 4, but there is much less anxiety having a constant present father in the home. So if you are being far more traditional, that tendency is going to lessen. Girls, particularly girls, not boys so much, but girls will seek adventure outside of the home if there is clearly not a strong and stable environment, and that is where the father provides. That's what he does. and so that the traditional roles, the need for that foundation is absolutely necessary. And what we're seeing in America particularly is exactly that. Fathers are not part of the home in
Hmm.
traditional in more traditional structures like yours. That's foreign. It's not. It doesn't exist, and people should be taking note of this.
But that's
But
crazy. But don't you think, Carnell, conservative, don't you think it's crazy? Because I've seen a lot of Americans say that to us, like by the way that we're raised up, and I tell them that that never happens to us because our fathers, our brothers, our uncles are so present in our lives as girls. They're always there, and they're always around. I give an example. Like even me as a woman, as a young woman, when I was maybe 17, even if I wanted to go out to the parties with where I get invited from high school or what have you, there was always someone at the house. Either my uncle was home or my cousin was home. So I never had that choice. I never had the chance to even think, oh, I'm going to escape and I'm going to do this. Never. And even if my uncles or my cousins saw me bored, they would take me to go do something. So I never had to feel that need to like escape or to be rebellious because this is how we're
and
grown up. We're grown up with that family
and
structure around us
even
all the
if
time. I'm sorry?
and even if you did go out, let's say you wanted to have a night on the town, you would take your brothers, your cousins, and those your extended structure, your
They came
extended
with
power
us.
structure with you. Yeah, they
Yeah,
would go with you.
yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be. Your family is your clan. They're supposed to be your gang. That's how it's supposed to be.
That's what
And
I'm saying.
the West has lost this. We've lost the plot on this. And
Yeah, and but conservative, I've seen parents like trying to not be strict on their children just because they're afraid of rebellion. And I'm like, no, you need to be strict, but make sure there's always options for the kids so that if they do want to rebel a little bit, at least they can rebel with the family, rebel with their cousins, rebel together and go out together, but they'll always be protected. And this is how we did it. This is how we are. Go ahead,
yeah,
MSK.
Oh shoot. Well, I think whatever way you were talking about, and he was too. I think people have gotten less strict now, which has caused worse things. I don't know. It feels like the reason why we have all these problems today is because people got less strict. And
Right.
yeah, you can say idealistically, yeah, that does make people want to rebel. But I feel like as those people grow up, they realize, hey, my parents were doing the right thing. Like I think that's what contributes to like a lot of the bad that's ever happened. It's a spiral effect that was like, oh, I'll just let them do this one time. When in reality, that's a catalyst for a lot of bad things that end up happening. It only takes like one time for someone to go like, oh, it's just this once, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually all.
and
And
on
also in your culture, you guys are more family oriented. I think one of the Tate brothers talked about this. Like, it's weird in America how everyone they always try to get you to split up. Like aunts, uncles, people just live so far away from each other. That's why the close knit family thing you're talking about doesn't exist as much because in America, people try to the system itself tries to go, oh, brothers can't live together because that's
Nuclear
weird. So
family. Yeah, they try to make
yeah.
the nuclear family thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
why the whole tiny family thing can't really. It might exist in some families, like the minor cultured ones, but the average one's not going to be that way. They're going to have their uncle because their uncle lives 2 cities over. Oh, sorry, I don't know who's talking. I'm meaning to cut anybody off.
You're,
I think it was
you're good,
Samuel.
man.
Oh no, it wasn't Samuel. It was okay. Conservative. I want to make a video about that, guys. You guys just gave me a video idea to make. I want to make a recorded video about growing up and how can I say you just mentioned it, MSK. Dang it. You just mentioned it and I just forgot it that quickly.
Nuclear
But it was
family?
something. Yeah. Oh, thank you. The nuclear family scam, the scam of the nuclear family, and how in America they kind of made this idea like
Mhm.
it's only husband, wife, and children who should live in a home. That once you're a certain age, you need to get out and you need to establish your home, and so on and so forth. When other cultures never saw it that way, we typically live in huge houses, huge mansions, and people say, why do you live that? Because the whole family lives together. So if we have the whole family living together, we can afford bigger, better houses. We can afford better cars. We can afford to live better because
Yeah.
we didn't do the nuclear family thing. The nuclear family thing is an American way to create more consumers. Because if you are alone, each person needs something. It's not just one stove for a whole family of the grandma, auntie, uncle, and everybody. Instead, it's auntie needs a stove, uncle needs a stove, I need a stove, grandma needs a stove, mama needs a stove. So that's more things that a person has to buy in a family instead of sharing it all together as one.
Yeah.
Another thing before you guys go, I know you guys are going to say something. Just give me one more second. The last thing before I forget is that I do want to make a video about the nuclear family scam and how it makes everything a lot harder, because if it's just mother and father raising children, it makes it a lot more stressful, and a lot of marriages don't survive that whole mother and father just raising the children by themselves. It's better when you have others around, like two brothers living together. Let's say two brothers live together, they have their wives and the children. It's easier all around, especially for the men, to live this way instead of having, each one be separated. Go ahead, Cardinal, sir, conservative.
I didn't know I was on, but
I
was
thought you were trying to
skip
talk.
back to no, I was going to skip back to what MSK was saying. But to add on it, the generation from 2015 to 2025 is the generation of people realizing that, and this isn't just a generational thing; it's a cultural thing. We are learning that the parents in Footloose did nothing wrong. That is essentially what we're learning. The parents who, like, quote unquote overreacted and didn't want their kids doing wild shit in the middle of the night weren't the crazy ones. They were actually sane. They were actually the ones who were doing things right. And we're recovering from this cultural virus. We're finally kicking in this this notion that that those who want to encourage the youth out of the home before they are accountable and functional adults are predators.
They are. That's why I said they prey on the young and stupid. And that's why I said the easier American families or Western families, they see the child as a burden. Once they hit teenage years and 17, 18, they're like, okay, get out. It's time for you to go off and do your own. In a lot of ways, it can be good to throw a kid out there, but then the majority of the time they fail. And they fail and they fail. And it's like, you can fail at home and it's still a buffer there for you. But if you fail when you're outside, the world takes advantage of you. You know what I mean? It's not just a failure at that point. You're out there with the wolves. And I don't agree with kicking the children out because they're 18 years old, that they can legally sign for things. I don't agree with that. I still believe that you are a child until you're about 26, because you're still not mentally there. You're not thinking straight yet. You're not ready. And even at 30, a lot of our parents still don't see us as grown-ups until we're like married and have our own kids.
Yeah.
Like me, because I haven't given birth yet. My parents still see me as a little girl. They're like,
Me
you're still a
neither.
little girl. So
Well, there's also there's I guess two things I'll add to that. So in your, let's say your culture, that's looked at as a good thing to keep the family together.
of course.
It's actually looked down upon if people, let's say, do that whole family thing. It's just some weird tradition that America just looks down on that. It's been that way for a long time. So people, instead of getting looked down on, they'll obviously split up, which obviously causes a lot of problems. Also, I think, I guess it's something like to the family angle. I've never believed that family could be, even someone that couldn't hurt you. Because, family could be the very people that hurt you, even though they're the closest to you. But I guess by how people would look at family, like, who would you be willing more to trust, a stranger or your brother? So when you've grown up with your entire life, and that's kind of, I guess, the idea that keeping family together. It's like you're supposed to be able to trust family more than some random stranger. But now it's different here. You trust people you've never even met in your life over someone you've grown up with your whole life. Like some people treat their mother worse.
You don't know my brothers.
Oh, well, keep on. This is how like families and like religion works. Like family's supposed to be like this core thing that'll lift you up and build you up. And if you're down, they bring you back up. Every family's different, and that's kind of the reason why that's why that can't really be a thing sometimes, because every family is so different that the idealistic way of that being a thing just can't really be possible because of different cultures and how we just live our lives in general. So
I'll give an example. I'll give you a quick example, and then I'll let anybody else who wants to go. The difference is, like, we have the same situations too. You don't think that like our family members don't like each other and we still live in the same household? We still do. But because we were raised a certain way with a certain respect and a certain honor system that we have in our culture, there's certain boundaries that we won't cross. Even though we hate each other, we might push each other down the stairs when we're passing each other by in the house every now and again. We might do stuff like that. There's times when I've never told you guys, but my family has had fights here in the house. Like, I mean, but one thing that we understood is that we are family and we stay together. And even if I don't like you, you're still my family, and we're going to keep this together as a unit because we have a different culture. Our culture, I can't even describe to you guys how we're raised. It's just a different system. We don't even think the same.
Sarah, I didn't know you were Italian.
Well, yeah, you could say that. Yes. Sicilian.
I'm kidding. I'm
So
oh, you are
real
Sicilian.
quick,
No,
No,
I'm
she's
not.
not.
No, very much not.
real quick, I don't mean to drag us back, but my lady did inform me that they don't have access to the internet. The Google's blocked, and the program she uses, she can video, like she can see what they're doing on the phone,
Very good.
and she can go back and see what was actually done on the phone, and so we can correct the behavior if need so
Keela got
I don't
off the
deal with
phone.
that.
Keela
let
got
her
off
deal
the
with it.
phone just to go check and make sure his kids weren't able to get on the internet. He was like,
I
hold on,
like
I'll be
that.
right back.
I like that. There you go.
Actually, I can actually mirror their screen to my phone so I can see exactly what they're doing, who they're texting, and everything.
You
Good
are
job.
amazing.
Good.
Good woman.
Send me a link to that software. I need it.
It costs like $10 a month, but I feel like it's worth it.
Definitely.
Well, hell yeah! I thought it'd be worse. Send it on over.
So yeah, and then people not being too strict is the reason why people think cutting off their genitals is a good idea. That's what you end up with. Not being strict, actually.
I'm not bullshitting, Keela. Get that app name in the private chat. I want it.
All right,
Yeah,
give me a moment.
I'll send it over to him.
Thank
so
you, my man.
I love that. Keela was like, hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, he doesn't
I
know
love
anything.
that.
I deal with it all. He doesn't know anything about the situation. I'm like, be quiet. You know what I'm talking about. You're making us look bad. Like, stop it.
Don't let him speak for you, girl. Don't let him speak for you.
But whose side are you on? What the heck?
Oh
my god. This is a girl's intuition. I got. Oh my god. Jeez.
I'm gonna go sisterhood move. I'm gonna go sisterhood mode.
She got me. You asked your girl if she got any hot single friends for me. Try to hook a brother up. Like,
don't be desperate.
Just
No
remember,
desperation.
I live in Southern California, and also on the rebellion thing I was talking about. In the very beginning of our stages, I was the dude that she would be, tell her mom, "Hey, I'm gonna go to Vegas for a week. I'll be back. I'm going to Yosemite for the weekend. I'll be back. I'm going to San Francisco for a week. I'll be back." And this is while she was living in her mom's house, and we weren't even serious at that time. Like, we were just, like, she was just, incorporate herself in my life. You know what I mean? And so, but because of the way her mother was, because her parents were split up, she just was like, I don't really need you. I don't need your approval. she never asked if she could go. She just went. And even still to this day, she still won't stand up to her mother, and
I'm more terrified of my mother than my own father.
Yeah, put it that way. And so, and she had to go through this phase, and thankfully, I pulled her out of a much darker spot at that time, in the very beginning, and and we've made it this far, but not everything's perfect. We still have our struggles.
Yeah, as a girl, I think we should be more afraid of our mothers than our fathers. Girls, I think we should be definitely afraid of our mothers. I think, boys should be, they should fear the father because that's just a natural way of things. The father should be the soft spot for the girl and mother should be soft spot for the son. But I have to get going now. I didn't know that we were 2.5 hours in. I have to go. My husband is texting me and I have to get back to him. I have to go back to slaving away in the kitchen. So, but thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. It has been such a pleasure. This show has been better, fairly decent, fairly decent. I think because Art of Will didn't show up today, so that's why. But nonetheless, thank you guys so
Only
much for joining me. I will see you guys next week.
only Larry got sent to the naughty corner tonight.
No, he didn't. He didn't. He's fine. But have a good night, guys. Good night, Cardinal Conservative.
Good night. Thank you for letting me up here.
No,
Hey,
thank you for
Conservative,
being
don't
here.
take off so quick, right? I'm still gonna put that in the chat.
Okay, yeah, put it in the private chat. Good night, smoking auditor. Bye-bye. Bye, guys. Bye, Larry. I'll see. Well, Larry, you can stay. You're fine. Bye, Samael. You can let yourself out. Bye, Keela.
I don't wanna.
Get Good night, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. I didn't even know the time had flown by. I didn't know we've been here 2.5 hours. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me today. And I hope I didn't bring you guys down with the topic. The topic, sometimes I hate talking about women or talking about the current state of modern dating or, what have you. But I think it's something that we shouldn't shy away from because this is something that either you people who are single in a chat or even your children that are coming up are going to have to deal with. And I think it's best that we know what's happening out there, what's going on, than not. I do need to make a recorded video about modern hookup culture and also what MSK was talking about with the nuclear family, the scam of the nuclear family. I need to bring up a few topics because there's something I want to speak to you guys about regarding children and family, about how we raise the children and also how two parents raising children alone, how stressful that can be and how many marriages don't survive. That's why you have a lot of single parents because sometimes, and this is the case, and I know this is sad to hear, but sometimes having children actually stresses a marriage to the point where they end up divorcing because of all the laws that are in place to parents in America. Parents can't parent the way they want to. Parents can't do what's necessary to the children anymore because everything is seen as abusive. Everything is monitored. Everybody's in your business. The schools are constantly telling you what you can and can't do, especially when it comes to discipline. Children are out of control, and it stresses marriages to a point where even marriages can't keep it together because the children are ruining their lives. The other situation is, I would say, the nuclear family, like I said, forcing people to live out on their own, a husband and wife. If that's their choice, that's different. Maybe they don't like their in-laws, what have you. But I think it's essential, whether they like their in-laws or not, that they be around for the raising of the children because we need that. Everybody needs that. And parents need time alone without children, of course. And it's just something I want to bring up. Maybe some people will agree, maybe some people will disagree with it, but I have reasons for what I say always, and I have testimonies to bring to you to show you what I'm talking about so you guys don't think I'm just saying it. I have testimonies, I have proofs, I have evidence. So I'll bring that to you guys in a recorded video. Wow, somebody Cashapp me. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. But yeah, I want to bring this up to you guys, and then the other video that I want to bring up is regarding culture and women. And I had a video on my old channel talking about the expectations of Eastern women versus the expectations of Western women, and how Eastern women are held to such high expectations from their families, from their culture, from their traditions, and so on, versus the low expectations that are expected of Western women, but Western women can't even fulfill the very low expectations that are expected of them. They can't even fulfill those. Okay. Unlike Western women are held to such high expectations, and still they reach them. They reach success and succeed in their culture. Western women, the bar is so low for Western women. Okay. Western men have such little requirements, such basic requirements from Western women, and they can't even reach those. So this is something I want to bring up as well about the difference in expectations, the difference in stress, the difference in consequences. Another reason why we don't rebel is because we know the consequences that comes with rebelling. See, for us, if we're not virgin at the time of marriage, a lot of us don't get married. It's not like Western women where if you're not virgin at the time of marriage, it's all forgiven and it's okay. This is why I say there's no consequences. This is part of the reason why a lot of us don't rebel, because we know that what we do now is going to affect us later. Western women, is the opposite for them. It's like, what I do now, it doesn't matter because later, you know, nothing is going to follow me into the future. Or if it does follow me into the future, it doesn't matter. Who cares? You know, I'll still be able to live, you know, like a normal person, even if I do whatever I want today. I told you guys before, I'm going to let you go now, but I told you guys before that sometimes I wish I had grown up in a Western household or grown up Western style, because the freedom, right? You guys are free and you don't have all these expectations on you. But then at the same time, I think about the culture that I've been raised up in, and I couldn't trade it for the world, right? Because we have so much value in our traditions. I think I'll let you guys go now. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. I hope to see you guys next weekend. And I think with that, I yield my time. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye.